The views and opinions of this broadcast do not reflect the views and opinions of Armed Media, New Productions, and its affiliates. Enjoy the show.
Tax the rich, feed the poor, tell there are no rich no more.
Welcome to Paw Talk, everybody. I'm Jim.
I'm Paul.
We got some special guests tonight.
Well, we also have Jeremy.
Yeah.
He's not a special guest.
No,
He's a
I know.
co-host. I got to plug all the ways in because I can't hear nothing.
Oh, yeah.
My name is Donald Westman from All Aboard.
I'm Dave Cooch from All Aboard.
And
You're out of me.
This is Paw Talk. It's not
no,
all in. I get what you say all in.
No, but you can plug it.
Well, yeah, that's tomorrow night. All in. I swear to God, I thought we was doing the all in show there for a
I
second.
know. I was waiting for it.
Oh, God.
I was gonna egg it on.
But guys, you guys can listen to all of us on Friday nights at 7 o'clock. Starts at 7 to 9 o'clock on All In.
And we will be doing a GOAT update. We do it every week.
Where for 2 hours we do nothing but make absolutely no sense.
It's the best. I love it.
Right. It's definitely entertaining.
Yeah, it's politics is fun, but just being a total fuckhead's way funner.
That's funny, Paul.
All right, so why don't we get into a subject, seeing how we are doing the Thursday night show?
All right, I got one here, which we can start out with because it's old, is the Austin bomber. Now, how isn't it nice that he decided to blow himself up?
I think it's real great. Great.
Yeah, save the taxpayer a couple bucks.
But then they say one of the SWAT guys got off a shot anyways. He must have been moving after the blast.
Now, this was
Right.
the seventh bomb, right? This was the seventh
That was
bomb.
the seventh, yeah.
Okay.
Seven's a charmer.
I'm glad he's gone.
Good old lucky seven.
He was only 23 years old too.
Yes.
He looked like a kid you could have a beer with.
All his family. And
They were all shocked.
and I don't doubt it.
Yeah, what the hell was wrong with this kid?
There's
What
got
made
to
him
be
do it?
something in the food, the new satellites or
know.
something that's going down to Earth. Because he ain't the only person. People are just going whacked.
Do you know what I
Well,
mean?
now
Because
guys, here's the thing though: bombs are illegal. So I mean,
We got to ban bombs, guys. We got to ban bombs.
People like that, they just snap.
No, I don't think it's they just snap. I think it accumulates over a long period of time, and it just
Right.
passes.
That is it.
And then one day they say, you know what, I'm going to put my plan in motion.
Right.
And the average person knows nothing about these people.
Right.
Look at the smiley face killer.
Like I said, the kid's never been arrested before.
Does anybody know what he was making these bombs out of? I
They have no military experience. He
Where-
wasn't on any military sites.
He was getting the batteries through the internet.
And
where did he learn how to make them though? Is my thing
His
because
books.
they
They must
said
have got it off the internet.
What do they call that book there? Survival Guide, Jane's something, Survival Guide or whatever.
they
No
said
idea.
that these bombs were sophisticated. I mean, that's what they called them. They were very sophisticated. So
He must have got it off the internet.
Yeah,
He's got
you
no
can find
military
anything.
training. Unless he's done, like dynamite for a lot of landscapers and stuff. You know what I mean?
What's that stuff you was talking about, Dave? That you can explode, that you can shoot it and it explodes.
that's tannerite.
Oh yeah, I've blowed up
That was
plenty of appliances with that stuff.
is that close to thermite, something like that?
No.
But this is
What
legit
is it?
stuff. Come on, Dave.
Tannerite, you can buy tannerite over the shelf, and it's two compounds that it's not illegal until you mix it together. Once you mix it together, it takes a high velocity bullet to explode it.
Very loud.
But what purpose does it have that you can buy it over the counter?
Because you get to blow stuff up.
Oh, okay.
That's what the whole idea
I
is.
like it.
That's all it is.
I don't know.
Makes
I
noise.
just thought maybe it had a purpose, like like some,
No, you can go into like Rural King or not the plug any of the sporting stores or the field stores. They'll have it, and you can buy it, and it's not illegal until you mix it. Once you mix the two ingredients together,
Right.
it technically becomes an explosive.
Right. Okay. Oh, and by the way, if you slip and say like Cabela's or something like that, Joe's not going to come down on you.
What's Cabela's?
It's a sporting goods store.
Oh.
Yeah, we won't say dicks are Field and Stream, but since they're cocksuckers now.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Fuck dicks.
Give them no fucking.
What's his name? Dick Stack? Is that his name?
Dick Sporting Goods.
Hey,
The- the owner.
did you guys see that they took a bigger hit more than they expected since they announced their new
That's
firearms
good.
policy?
You know, there's a mall in Boston in Saugus, and the signs that tell you what stores are there. Up top is Old Navy, and right below it is Dick's. Old Navy Dick's.
Well, but nobody knows yet, I guess, and what this kid made these bombs out of it. It hasn't been released yet, I guess.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, they can now. They should be able to release that 25-minute, video, because there's no case, there ain't nothing. It's
That's
over.
right. It's over.
They're going to
He's
try
dead.
to get the people he got the equipment from. They're probably going to try to get them for accessories.
Well, speaking of that, didn't you send me something, Donald, about some guy that was arrested for some white supremacist for saying he was the one that trained him? Oh
No, that was the Florida shooter.
the Florida shooter. Never
Oh,
mind.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's right. Sorry, my mistake. Confusing the two.
Oh, you're good. Yeah, I did send you that. Yeah, I did send that to
Okay.
you.
Yeah, we'll get to that later. Then I thought we were on the same subject.
Well, are you guys ready to change subjects? Or
Sure.
I don't care. Sure.
Well, everybody knows that this afternoon that the House, they passed this $1.3 trillion spending package, you guys. Now the bill moves on to the Senate, okay? So, me and Jimmy was talking earlier, but Jimmy, in this $1.3 billion spending package, it's gonna provide funding for, these sanctuary cities. It's going to provide funding for Planned Parenthood. And they said there's going to be millions of dollars for a border fence. Now, Jimmy, you said something about there is areas that they can't put a wall, that they were going to have to put a fence, right?
Right. You're going to need a fence.
But is the wall still going up? That's my question.
Well, that's what he's saying. This 1.6 billion is
Trillion.
no
Trillion.
The
for the wall.
Oh, right. Oh, for the wall
For
itself.
the wall
I'm sorry.
itself, that's just what they're giving them in the beginning, 1.6 billion. The thing's going to cost 60 billion to build, and they're giving them one. All right, so that this is a
60?
joke. Yeah, to build.
Yeah, but here's the thing. If you look at the overall cost of what illegals cost us in a year's
Right.
time.
No. I agree
Trade
with that, yeah.
deficits with Mexico, yes, it all make a difference.
Exactly.
What about the funding for Planned Parenthood, Jimmy? I know you said something you were against that.
Even Trump said there was a lot of things they had to give up to the Dems, and that was one of them.
And don't forget, this hasn't
To get
gone
for the military.
This hasn't gone through the Senate yet. They when it goes to the Senate, it could come out a totally different
Usually does.
animal by the time the Senate's done.
And tomorrow night's the deadline.
Tomorrow
Yes,
night's
the
the
government
deadline.
shuts down
It is.
tomorrow night, yes.
Good.
Midnight.
Yeah, I saw Rand Paul put a tweet out where it was over 2,300 pages. They give them a day to look at it, and he said, not one senator, not one congressperson has had a chance to read this. So,
Of course.
And naturally, he is a very physical conservative. He's going to be against this.
Oh yeah. I don't like a lot
they
of
all
Rand
are.
Paul's policies, but when it comes to fiscal
See, now I thought
responsibility,
I thought Trump would be more fiscal responsible. And now, if this is what he's doing for the first 2 years, because that's usually you take the hit. So in 2020, everything, the military will
Well, I was
take
gonna
up the grade, and then he can change on the infrastructure. He'll go on to that next, and everybody will be working. You know what I mean?
Well,
That's what the economy be flying.
A lot of that I do agree with, because Jimmy did mention that a lot of this money is really to upgrade the military.
I hope so.
We need it bad.
Yeah, we're like before fucking World War I, for Christ's sakes.
Well, yeah, and that's because Obama cut the military so
He
much.
gutted it.
Well, a political question, you guys. After it leaves the Senate, doesn't it have to go to the president to sign off too?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Now, if he vetoes it, it can go back to the Senate, and if they get 3/3 of the votes, they can override 2/3 the votes. They override the president's veto. Then, right?
Yes.
Okay. That's politics 101, I guess, right there.
Or it can go back to where they litigate it. You know what I mean? It goes back to committee.
Here's the thing, though. Since this is an appropriations bill, it's not a simple majority. They need 60 votes to get it to pass.
Right.
The Senate, right?
That's that closure shit.
Yeah, but since it's an appropriations bill, correct.
They should go back to majority. How come last year, the first year they did, because Pence made the decision?
Well, because they call it going nuclear. They went nuclear then.
What are you only allowed so many times or something? See, this is what I don't get. It's like when I first started watching football, I couldn't understand shit.
Yeah, you can't understand the rules. And they do it on purpose.
And they do it on purpose.
Yes, they do. They do it on purpose. You know what I think the biggest thing, and I mean this is kind of totally off topic, but still political, that would help our country and would help help the Senate and the House both is term limits.
Yeah, I know it.
I agree with it.
I don't think there should be any for the president, but I think there should be for Congress, because that's what makes them the swamp. Is there all the corruption?
After time, yes, Jimmy. There's so long time.
The longer you're there, the more corrupt you are.
Yep.
I mean, I've said it time and time again. Those congressmen and senators might as well have billboards on their coats. With who's put money in their pocket.
Right.
Do we the people even matter anymore? Do we matter?
They wrote the Clinton cash. Joe Biden went over to China with his son Hunter, and they came back, and 10 years later, Hunter had a contract for $1.something billion.
Was it 10 years later?
Well, no, you don't have to look no further than the Bundy Ranch with Harry Reid and Biden's son and some dealings that they had in China. That's why they wanted the Bundy's land.
He's given up John Kerry. Same thing. The money went to his daughter. This is how they're doing the what do you call that? Bribing. That's how they're bribing now, by giving it to the family.
Right, they give it to the family.
Right.
Well, it's weird you mentioned Joe Biden, Jimmy, because Joe Biden was just at some kind of some kind of rally, some student rally for sexual assault, some kind of sexual assault rally.
Saw that.
And Joe Biden said that if he would have went to high school with Trump, he would have beat the hell out of him. Now, what kind of statement is
beat
that?
The shit out of him. His towers over.
Pencil neck fucking geek.
I say put him in a ring. Put him in a ring. And
wouldn't that be funny? Like Celebrity Deathmatch. Remember them on MTV?
Oh, yes.
I mean, come on. This is the Vice President of the United States talking about beating the hell out of him.
Yeah, I know. All Trump's got to do is run into him, knock him over, and he's down.
Yeah, his hip would be fucking shattered like fucking porcelain.
Well, you got to think, too, Trump does pack a gun. He can still carry a weapon. Biden, all he talks about is going out and shooting a shotgun out his back door, remember?
Oh, yeah.
Well, he's got a rough schedule in between fucking touching children and shit.
Yeah, just ask our Attorney General. Did you see how he stepped in between Biden and his granddaughter? He's like, get away from her.
I don't want you near my fucking granddaughter, you fucker.
Wait a minute. Now, is Biden...
They don't call him Creepy Joe for nothing.
Yeah,
so
that's right.
Joe's been known to touch kids? I mean, this is the first time hearing about this.
Joe Sixpack.
Oh, my God. There's so many videos on YouTube of him just, like, up on stage and shit. And he's, like, touching these kids and, like, rubbing... There's one where he's rubbing a little girl's chest.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
And I want to see the look on the kid's face.
I still want to see Trump go and knock the shit out of him. I mean, if he's talking about beating the hell out of Trump, I want to see them two fight, you guys.
Oh, that would be fucking
That would be nice.
That would be
It'd be like Rock'em Sock'em Robot.
Oh,
that would be better than the Manila and Manila. Thriller in Manila.
The Thriller in Manila. That would be the biggest pay-per-view ever.
I got a good one for tomorrow night, you guys.
The world would watch.
I would get cable again just so I could get the fucking pay-per-view to see that.
I'd go to a bar.
Yeah, there you go. Just go to a bar.
You remember the old pay-per-view boxes you had to buy? I mean, to get pay-per-view, like stuff like that, the big old boxes you had to buy.
Yeah, you still do. You still do.
Oh, you do? I don't have cable anymore, so...
Me neither. I ditched it, too.
I ditched it.
So
I don't watch TV anymore.
What are you watching now? I thought you watched Fox News.
24 on my computer.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's not going to tell you how he does it, though, because he doesn't want them to be found out.
It don't matter. It's streaming, live streaming.
Yep.
Get you an Amazon Fire Stick, Jimmy.
It don't matter. I can get them 24 hours. If I can't get them, I'll get One American News.
Oh, you don't watch a lot of movies, do you?
Do you, Jimmy?
What?
Watch a lot of movies?
I do. I get Netflix. I usually do binging when I do Netflix. Otherwise, I haven't watched it in about a month.
Well, what's next on the agenda, you guys? I've got a lot of stuff to talk about.
I got Parkland School there.
No. How about we do the Somali cop first?
All right, good.
The cop and the Somalian cop and what was
Michigan
it?
or Minnesota.
No, Minnesota. Thank you. He has been charged.
Was it Minneapolis? I'm sorry, Paul.
Minneapolis, Minnesota. Right?
Yeah. His name. What was his name? Mohammed Noor.
Noor. Yeah. He finally has been arrested and charged with third-degree murder. Third degree.
It's basically manslaughter.
Yeah. Well, voluntary manslaughter.
Yeah.
You intend. It means you did it. You intended to do it. Wouldn't voluntary manslaughter imply that?
Like I said, he had no reason why he did it.
Yeah.
Now this happened last summer, right? The killing did.
Yeah.
Yeah. He shot a woman from Australia.
She was running up to the police car and he shot her
because she had been assaulted.
Exactly. She was running up to get to the police and he shot her.
Right by his partner's face. Stuck the gun right in his face and fired.
It says that they actually charged him a second degree manslaughter for culpable negligence, creating unreasonable risk.
Well, the article I read said third degree murder
he said second degree manslaughter.
And second degree manslaughter.
And second degree, yes. Both in conjunction. Yep.
Yeah. Why did it take so long to get this warrant issued, though, Paul, Jimmy,
because he's a Somali. It's a race thing, immigrant thing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not
diversity. This is what you get when you put people that have no right being a police officer and give them the gun.
And did you see how he graduated? Where he graduated from?
No.
The Accelerated Police Academy.
Oh, I'd like to see what kind of
training. So there was no
that
test. He just passed everything.
Well, it was 7 months. I'll say that.
Yeah.
But evidently that's accelerated.
7 months. You can't even learn to shoot a gun in that much time.
No, I don't know.
At least get good at it.
But the reason it took so long was the political correctness.
Well, and not only that, but Minneapolis right now, I mean, that is a haven for that type of behavior. Yeah. They're covering it up. I mean, they're doing everything they can to
I totally forgot about it until Paul mentioned it.
Yeah, there's a huge Islamic population there.
Yeah, well, and that's why they're just arming people. The whole state of Minnesota doesn't recognize a whole bunch of outside carry permits now.
Figures. We're letting a tiny group of people dictate to the rest of us.
Yeah.
And
only put more people in harm's way.
Well, not only that, but that tiny group of people is actually starting to infiltrate our political system on the local level, like Minneapolis, and they're starting to dictate policy, and they're starting to actually put us in danger.
A Muslim's running for governor of Michigan.
Yep.
Oh, really?
Well, don't look no further than Dearborn, Michigan.
Oh my God!
Downtown Dearborn, Michigan, call to prayer every day.
My brother Mike has been there, and he said it's unbelievable.
Yeah, and if you drive down through there, they'll actually come up to you and ask you, what are you doing there?
Yeah, like you're not supposed. What are you doing here? Fuck you.
So what is that, like little Muslim here in America, Dearborn? It's turned into a Muslim country almost, Dearborn, Michigan.
Well,
right?
that's what they let them get together in groups. But if white people got together in a group and wanted their own condos or something, oh no, you got to have diversity.
Yeah,
but no diversity for them.
Well, and I've talked about this before. If you look, there's actually like almost 3 phases of jihad. If you look at it, you have complete Sharia, which would be like Saudi Arabia, and then you have them acting out, which would be like Europe, and then you have them populating, which is us right now. And then once they reach a certain amount of the population, then they start acting out.
Yep, yeah, because it gives them balls, and our own government suppresses our rights to give them rights.
Exactly. Well, look no further than Minnesota. I mean, they canceled a whole bunch of states' carry permits. Why? Because if you go there and they act out against you and you're armed, you can defend yourself.
Exactly, and they don't like it.
Nope. I don't like what's going on in our country right now, you guys.
I don't either.
You
especially with the Second Amendment, because Hillary was attacking it. They're attacking it now with Trump. They're just not giving up.
Oh yeah. Have you seen the latest of Hillary's babblings?
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Holy shit.
Tell us, Paul. Tell us.
Well, the one that comes to mind was, and I know this is like a week ago, but she was saying the reason she lost the election was because women were told to vote for Trump by their husbands and their sons and their bosses.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's why she lost.
Yeah.
She just won't admit that she lost the election because she was a poor candidate.
That
It was
she
somebody else.
Thanks.
She's an idiot.
And they're thinking, and if they're even thinking,
Crooked Hillary, he had it right. That's why she lost, because he came up with that name. Crooked Hillary.
Yep.
What would you would have called her the same thing, wouldn't you, Paul? Timmy? Crooked
No,
Hillary?
Paul, I told me anytime you say cunt, it's got to do with Hillary. That was the only time I let him say cunt.
Yeah, well, you just said it twice.
There's a
We got a
call.
phone call.
We got a phone call.
Holy
We
shit.
forgot to give the number
Hello?
out.
I know, we didn't even give out the number. Hold on. This ought to be good.
Anybody there?
And
I didn't hear anything, but that was because I didn't have the speaker on. I'm ready to go. I'll give out the number.
Yeah, give out the number, please.
The number is 1-800-508-5431. Now that the phones are working, you can call in.
So call in so your call can be dropped.
If you hear music, keep stay on the line, and eventually I'll answer.
Yeah.
Good, yes, Timmy, exactly. And you guys, I just want to tell you that last night, after a week since the big congressional seat in Pennsylvania, you know, the special election.
Yeah.
The guy finally, Rick Sarcone, he finally conceded defeat last night. So
yeah, whatever.
Carl Lamb, he's a centrist Democrat.
Oh, another call. All right, now let's see what happens here.
Hello? Hello?
Goodness. I'll put up to the mic so people can know what's happening.
Hello, anybody there?
Can you hear what's happening?
This is who?
Hello?
Hello, what's your first name? Where you calling from?
What in the name of God?
Here's some background noise.
No, Jesus Christ, why do we give those fucking number out?
Something's not right here. I'm hearing like three different conversations.
Now I hear him.
Alright, what's your name?
Well, there's something
Sounds like
going
I
on with
got
that
ghosts on my
stuff.
This is Chris from Louisiana.
Oh, Chris, how are you? Chris Fitzwater,
I
right?
just wanna. I don't know if y'all can hear me or not, but I'm in a lot of breakup. But this is for David Coops. Go ahead and do them survival photos. What Donald was talking about today.
Which was?
And I said this is for David Coops. For him to do them survival videos that they was talking about earlier today.
Yep.
And y'all doing a good job.
Thank you very much.
They appreciate the
Thanks, Chris.
You took the time to call in. And
Yeah, they appreciate it. Thanks for letting us know my phone works.
All right, man.
You have a good night.
Have a great night, brother.
Bye-bye.
Oh my God, is that painful?
What was
And,
that
and
like?
nothing against Chris.
No,
But
it's just
it's
my
not
phone
you.
is painful.
Yeah, it's just goddamn painful. We appreciate you calling in, Chris.
Oh yeah, Chris is a good guy, and
Yeah, he
I
is.
guess what it is, Jimmy, is I made a video earlier, and me and Dave was talking this morning. We might start doing some survival videos, you know, like IFAC packs, bug out bags, and whatnot.
That sounds cool, because we're going to get to that. Revolution is coming.
Well, Jimmy, our electricity isn't promised tomorrow. I mean, anything,
right.
even a
taking out
storm.
the grids. Russia's already taken out our grids.
No, they haven't.
Yeah, they've been doing test runs.
Oh, they might be trying.
Yeah.
A solar flare.
Don't you think we could do it back to them?
I don't know. Maybe
the
FBI's fucking incompetent. So yeah, I don't think we can do it to
I
them.
bet my grandson could. The people
Our
at the
electrical
CIA
grid
know.
is very vulnerable.
Yeah, it is. It is.
I mean, even a solar flare, guys. Electric lights out. We're done. We'll go back to the 1800s.
With a quickness.
I don't know if that'd be a bad thing or not, though, guys. I mean, at this point, let's just let's get back to that.
Well, you know what, Dave, though? A lot of people ain't ready to live in those times. These new millennials and stuff, nobody knows how to survive without electric and stuff anymore.
Well,
they don't know how to grow gardens. They don't know how to can their food. Most of them don't even know how to hunt, Dave.
I can't say that about most of the millennials. I know all of my millennial children can. They could make it and survive.
That's your children, but just think about all these children that live in these big cities. You know what I'm saying? That's never been in the country. There's some kids never been in the woods or anything, Dave, and they know the first thing about even how to start a fire without a lighter. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And where's Jimmy and them at? They went silent.
I don't know. You got another subject there. We're probably still on the air here, so let's just break into it.
Well, I'll tell you, I got the subject here, Dave. I was reading an article today. It said that in the state of Idaho and our state of Ohio, they're seeking this new law to put limits on abortion. And in the state of Washington, a bill has been signed into law requiring all health insurers to cover abortions under certain circumstances, under conditions. But I didn't know Ohio was doing this, or Idaho.
Yes. No, Ohio was trying to pass what they call a heartbeat law, and also the state of Mississippi passed a law. The governor signed it, which would ban abortions past 24 weeks, I believe it is, and that was put on hold by a federal judge.
So in Ohio what exactly is going on in Ohio now with this these limits on abortion? What do they mean by that, limits?
Well, I think what they're trying to do is put a term. If the woman has passed a certain term, whether it be first trimester, second trimester, then she can't have an abortion unless it's she's in danger or it's going to cost life or limb or something like that.
Well, I'm against abortion, but I mean, is that going against Roe v. Wade? Isn't that I don't know. Is the states can they go against the Supreme Court decision of 1973, Roe v. Wade?
Well, now here's the thing, though. If the state limits it, Roe v. Wade, I'm not quite sure on how it's worded, and I mean I'm not an attorney by no means. But if they put a limitation on it, but they don't completely outlaw it, does that go against the Supreme Court's ruling?
Well, you told me a long time ago, though, Dave, that when this country was set up, it was set up for the states to have more power than the government to run their people. The people in the states, our state government should have the power to do things like that. Am I correct, Dave?
Oh, absolutely. That's how our founding fathers wanted things to be. They wanted the federal government to play a very limited role. They wanted the most of the power to lie within the state. And we've talked about this over our rock, in Franklin, Ohio, the monument that they took down. People were calling Robert E. Lee a traitor, and it was like, no, guys, he wasn't a traitor. He was loyal to his state. In those times, a person's loyalty lied with their state, not with the federal government, because then the federal government played a very limited role in a man's life.
So that goes back to it being a republic, back when it was a republic and not a democracy.
That's back when it was a true republic. What do you think, Jeremy?
Well, it's always been a republic. Some people just seem to have forgotten that. And unfortunately, it may happen in our time, it may not, but it's probably going to take war to prove it, to get back to that.
Jeremy, I've read ads and articles here lately. I've been looking it up, and they're trying to say online on the internet that our country is a democracy, and they're trying to say that it's the same as a republic, but it's not the same.
No,
well, that's all the sheeple,
Yeah, exactly.
What the government indoctrinates our kids with in the schools.
And see, here's the thing. Look, you don't have to look no further than Commie, California. They're a sanctuary state. The federal government threatens to cut off their funding, and the first thing they do is they find the most liberal judge they can find, and they put a motion in front of them to sue the federal government to give them funding. Nowhere in our Constitution does it say the federal government is obliged to support a state.
Okay, Dave, what about that $1.3 trillion package that was passed today? Now, we were talking about that earlier. Now, that's going to give funding for the sanctuary cities. We can't fund sanctuary cities.
Donald, it's all about creating dependency. The more dependency you create, the more people get lazy, the more they want it, and the easier it is to say, okay, yeah, let's have it, we'll take it.
And that's exactly right. The more a state becomes dependent on the federal government, the more enslaved that state is. Now think about this, guys. We have signs. If you go to a national park and they have wildlife, or to a zoo, they have signs up that says don't feed the bear, don't feed the animals. Why? Because if you do it, they become dependent on it. They depend on that food because they get so lazy they forget how to go out and hunt. But yet us as a society, we have programs that are making people economically dependent on the state and on the federal government.
Oh, man, that was a good topic. What do you think? I mean, what he said there, Jeremy? I mean, Dave explained it to a T. I loved it, Dave. Thank you.
Well, that's all this is designed to create dependency.
So what happens now? Everybody gets dependent on the government. Then they can do what they want once everybody is dependent upon this government.
Right. Well, not everybody gets dependent on it, but if enough people do, they have free reign to just do whatever they want.
I don't know what happened to Jimmy and Paul, you guys. I feel like we've hijacked their show. I hope they come back on here, you guys. But
they disconnected from.
But anyway, I know it was a Democratic president, John F. Kennedy. I think he's the one who says, "Ask not what you can, what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country."
Absolutely.
Now, as a Democratic president, I think that was a good saying. I liked what he said, and that falls into what you were talking about, you and Jeremy both, about this dependency thing.
Well, but here's the thing, Donald. If you look, and we've said this 100 times, and we could say it 100 times again, and it wouldn't be enough. If you look at the Democratic Party in JFK's era versus the Democratic Party now, you have the old blue dog Democrats who were loyal to the working man. They were loyal to God. They were loyal to their country. That's not the Democratic Party of today. That's, the Democratic Party of today are socialists. They're left-wing nut jobs who want the federal government to be so big and in our lives so much that they want them to control every aspect of our life.
And that's one good thing about doing these. So I'm sorry, Jeremy. That's one good thing, Dave. Like you've always said, we do need to get these people, these older people that still believe that mentality about these Democrats. We do got to get them to change their minds and change their way of thinking about the Democratic Party. Like we said, we're going to try to change this country one show at a time. And if one person, Dave, out there, like you said, these older people, they really believed in that, this Democratic Party. And you're right, it has changed, Dave. This isn't our grandfather's party anymore. The Democratic Party isn't.
No, it's not.
There they are.
We're back. Can you hear us now?
Yes.
Yes.
Left us on your show.
Christ. Yeah, I was like, these dicks, they won't even let us in the conversation.
Well, yeah, for about 3 minutes, we thought you were just ignoring us.
We couldn't hear you. You left.
I had to leave because that's the only way I could get back to talking to you.
I'm like, the mic's off. He's like, no, it's on. I was like, well, we're not being heard.
Oh, we don't see Paul. He's down to his feet.
Oh, I was fucking having a little...
Are these guys being dicks?
I was having a fit.
Well, that's what I said. I feel like we've hijacked Jimmy and Paul's show. I
was telling Paul, send him a message. Keep talking.
Well, we kind of figured that out. We just kind of ran with it, guys.
We ran with it.
Good job.
I don't know. I'm not going to apologize because you did leave.
Yeah,
Jimmy hasn't rebooted it for a while. You got to reboot the system every once in a while.
Your computer. No, it's just so slow.
And it took us forever to get back in.
Well, I felt bad. That's what I told Dave and Jeremy. I said, I feel like we hijacked the show, the poor guys.
Yeah.
No, you guys did a great job. Thanks. I'm glad it would have been dead air if you guys weren't here.
It was just me and Paul, exactly.
Well, what?
Dead air.
Paul, Jimmy, I sent you guys this story.
That was the signal and I missed it.
Yeah, for crickets, yeah.
Crap. Wait, I sent you guys a story, and I want you guys to talk about this a little bit. I know it's not political, but it's kind of weird. I hope you got this article. It's about this reclusive lady named Gaynor Jones. She's 87 years old. And if I understand the story right, this 87-year-old lady, she was a hoarder. She died 4 years ago at her home, and they didn't even know she was dead, guys. Then her daughter lived there, and the police had to come there. So I don't know if she died, but this lady laid in her house and rotted for 4 years underneath all that junk,
under the rubble.
I mean, that's horrible. This hoarder
Well,
stuff.
didn't they find the daughter under the rubble too? I mean, what's this rubble?
She was buried in the rubble too, and not faring well.
That's horrible. Piles of magazines have toppled over on them.
No, it's probably shit. And I was listening to a Hoarders episode. They were playing around Opie and Anthony, and this lady's toilet had died like 10 years ago. She was shitting in bags, in plastic bags, and leaving them on the steps of the inside the house.
Do you want to save
the
it?
Steps.
Is she trying to save it? Is that a hoarder? Is that what they do?
No, she probably put it out with the trash.
No, it was in the house. 10 years.
10 years
bags
worth of shit. The whole house would be covered with
the
it.
second floor collapsed under the weight of the shit.
No.
Shit hit the fan. Basically, shit hit the fan.
You could put a fucking septic tank on the second floor.
They said that the town came in because they were trying. The Hoarders people were trying to get the place fixed up so it would be livable, and they said there's nothing we can do. And the fucking town came in and condemned the house.
Oh man! Do you think being a hoarder is that a disease, you guys? Or
No, it is. It's definitely.
It's not a disease.
It's like OCD. Yeah, it's like OCD. That's a disease.
I don't get it.
I guess it's an illness. I guess.
I had a question for Jimmy, Paul, Dave, Jeremy, all you guys. I want you guys to all answer this question, okay? Do you guys think it was wrong for President Trump to congratulate Putin for winning the Russian election? You think it was wrong?
No, not at all.
No, not at all.
Well, I guess a lot of people do think it's wrong for him to do
He
that.
congratulated Trump when Trump won. All he did was return the favor.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Obama
guys.
did it. Nobody seemed to be pissed about it. When
Obama did it. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, 6 years ago.
I'll be more flexible on my second time.
Yeah, tell Vlad I'll be more flexible. I bet he is flexible for his boyfriends.
Michelle.
Just ask
packing.
your friend Michelle.
Yeah, she's packing.
Fucking A. That fucking bitch has got jock itch worse than I do.
So do you believe she's a man?
Oh, it's definitely a he, she.
It appears to be.
The kids are adopted.
Yep. Oh, yeah. They're rentals. They're not even adopted.
Michelle didn't have them, that's for sure.
Nah.
Crisis actors.
How do you squeeze a kid out of a dick?
How do you go from being a community organizer to a senator to president? I just don't get
Within
it.
like 5 years.
Yes, a Manchurian candidate, brother.
Well, you got to think about it.
Biden said, he's so clean.
Cuyahoga County here in Ohio, out of nearly 1 million registered voters, every single one of them voted for Obama.
He carried 100% of Cuyahoga County.
Wow.
Kind of sounds like the Russian elections.
I know somebody that lives in Cuyahoga.
And they didn't say nothing was said. That's the thing, honestly though, it's the conservatives' fault because they're putting up with this crap.
Right. They're taking it.
They let it go.
Well, we got a lot of dead Republicans voting Democrat all of a sudden.
Well, we got McCain, Rubio, Lindsey Graham. I mean, that's what's killing us. Our own Republicans.
Yeah,
that's my only concern about. My only concern about when I die is whether or not I'm going to vote Republican or Democrat.
Well,
I can guarantee
you'll become a
You'll
Democrat.
be voting Democrat.
Yeah, you'll be voting Democrat when you die.
Damn it.
You will become a Democrat. Jimmy, you will become a Democrat when you die too, trust me.
I'm sure it will.
When does Kasich come up for re-election?
Now, this
It's
year.
over. You know, his term's
he's
over.
done. Good.
Oh, he's done no matter what.
Yeah, his 2 terms are over. He's gone. We gotta find a
I
good.
guarantee he's
Thank
going to run
God.
in 2020.
He's good, yeah, because he's a crybaby.
Yeah, just like what's his name, Jeff
Well-
Flake.
Well, let me tell you something about
I don't
Kasich.
know which one that wants to run for president now that he knows he couldn't get back in as a senator.
Well, and I'm gonna tell you something about Kasich. He ain't worth the Charmin toilet paper he uses to wipe his butt with.
Nah, he's a. Oh God, I hate that man.
He
I
never
cannot stand
accepted
him.
President Trump. The guy, you know, the Republican convention was right here in Ohio. John Kasich, the Republican governor, didn't even go to the convention, you guys.
What a
Sad.
spoiled little baby.
He's a
He's-
Democrat. Why doesn't he run as one?
Well, because he's a rhino. I mean, plain and simple.
I have the same
He
hate
does
for
it
Kasich.
to
I
steal
like to-
votes.
Yeah, I
That's all it
hate
is.
I hate Kasich like I hate Mitt Romney.
Oh
Yeah,
God, yes.
He
Yeah,
was
but
the governor of my state.
Yeah, but how would you like to have Kasich governor of your state? We got to put up with him here for next till
We
this
do
year's over
have
with.
one. Well, we don't. Mass has one. Same thing. He's a Republican, but
Charlie
he's
Big.
not. Yeah, but he's not but a Democrat.
He is a fucking rhino in every way, shape, and form.
Now
You
we do
get-
have guys. Our lieutenant governor, I think her name is Mary Taylor. She has literally called Kasich out on everything that he's doing. That lady, when we went to that rally in Columbus, she spoke that day. She has my vote.
Now, in your state, does the lieutenant governor run separate from the governor, or are they on the ticket together?
I believe they're on the ticket together, aren't they?
Okay, all right.
Same as Mass.
Yeah, same as Mass. Some
Same as
states, the lieutenant governor runs on their own. So you could have a Republican governor and a Democratic lieutenant governor.
Right.
Now wait a minute, Paul, Jimmy. You guys don't actually live in Massachusetts. You guys live in
No,
New Hampshire,
not
correct?
anymore. No, I grew up in Mass. We both grew up in Mass.
Now who's the governor of New Hampshire?
Sununu.
Chris Sununu.
The son of
John Sununu.
Johnson, yeah.
Democrat.
Republican.
Republican, yeah.
Oh man, I wouldn't even have guessed it, you guys. I
there-
thought they was all Democrat up that way.
No,
And
not
Sun-
New Hampshire, brother. Isn't your
and
guys'
Sunu-
motto "Live free or die"?
Yes, it is. And Sununu's not a rhino. He's a good. Do you like him?
Yeah, I do.
I like Sununu.
I voted for him.
He signed when the legislature passed the constitutional carry. He signed it without hesitation. Zing
Oh,
boom.
wait a minute. You guys got constitutional carry in New Hampshire?
Yeah.
So you don't
We
have
do,
to have a CCW license there.
No, you don't.
Well, that's awesome, man.
We don't have helmet laws. We don't have a seatbelt law. We don't you don't have to insure your car, brother.
Well,
I
they're
just-
gone. I
I
didn't
just
know.
canceled mine today. Speaking of it,
I didn't know New Hampshire. I'm sorry, you guys, but I thought
No,
New Hampshire was
no,
a
sir.
Democratic state. I'm sorry.
No sales tax, no
and
income tax.
you know what they're doing is they're shipping everybody up to Concord and Manchester. Those are the only two Democratic areas, and they're shipping them up from Massachusetts in
Yep.
enormous numbers.
They're
Oh,
loaded.
trying
So
to
that's why they're trying to switch the state to Democrat. It always used to be Republican.
Gotcha.
It was us in Maine were the two Republican states.
And what they do is they embarrass all the people that are originally from here, which mostly is white. So they won't even go vote.
So they're
They're
trying to
just
change
scared.
the demographics of New Hampshire then.
Of course they are.
And that's a huge problem, and that's what we need to try to do is to energize these people to get them to understand how important these upcoming midterms are going to be, and not to sit on their laurel, but to get out and make a difference and vote.
Damn right.
Yeah, they hear it, but it goes in one ear and out the
The
other.
New Hampshire primary up here, the Democratic New Hampshire primary. Bernie Sanders won by like almost 30 percentage points. And it was a
Super delegates.
yeah, and it became a statistical tie because of the superdelegates.
Now, are you guys the same? I think I asked you guys this once before. The state of New Hampshire, how many electoral college votes are in your state of New Hampshire?
I think it's 3 or 4.
What, for New Hampshire?
Yeah, electoral.
Yeah, there was like 6.
Jeremy, check that out, brother.
Because we got 18 electoral college votes in Ohio. I know it goes by population.
Right, and Ohio has a far higher population than New Hampshire.
It's a shame California's
More
got
like
that many
8
electoral
million.
college votes. It's a
Yeah.
shame.
Well, and we've talked about that before, though. That's why, you know, we don't have a democracy. We have a constitutional republic with an electoral college.
I'm glad, and it better stay that way, too.
It isn't funny that you never heard a liberal complain about the electoral college until Trump got elected.
Well, because she didn't win the electoral college. She won the popular vote.
She didn't win.
Well, here's the thing.
Well, that's what they say, Paul.
Trump, if you look at how many counties Trump carried far more counties in the whole country over Hillary.
Yeah.
Right, she's got all the slums, which it's like a cancer. They all condense in one little area and then spread to
They
another
say she
part.
won by 2 million votes, right? In the
6
popular
million.
vote.
Yeah, let's end this. Let's get this debate over with, Paul. Me and you. You said she didn't win the popular vote, and
No, not legally. No.
Well, okay, I agree with that. Now I'll agree with that. Because if you took away all the fake votes, all the dead votes, and all the illegal votes, I do believe Trump would have won the popular vote too, guys.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I don't.
You were
believe it.
right. That's 4 votes, by the way.
There you go. Thank you for electoral votes.
Man,
Okay.
there's nobody lives in that
must be
state. There must not
It's,
be that
just,
many
it's
people.
not a big state.
No, it's a big state, but there's not many people.
It's not really big.
Yeah, it is.
Well, you think about it, Montana's only
Well,
got
twice the size of
3.
Mass.
I don't think it's twice the size. It might be bigger than Mass, but it's not much bigger.
What about Maryland? Is that a small state too, Maryland?
Oh, it's
Yeah,
tiny.
it is.
But it's got a real dense population.
Yeah, because you've got Baltimore.
You got
Right.
Baltimore, you got D.C.,
see.
Yeah.
and you got Virginia.
Alexandria.
You got exactly Alexandria, Virginia. When you get towards D.C. and like Maryland and all that, the lines are blurred about what is what. You know what I mean?
What neighborhood you mean?
Yeah, where you are and shit.
Whether you're in the hood or you're not in the hood.
Oh, I've been to Baltimore. Holy shit!
What was it like,
Yeah.
Paul?
It's
Like
bad.
Roxbury in Boston.
It's a fucking hellhole. My brother Mike took me through. I was like, we don't have to go
Daytime,
through-
nighttime.
Maryland has 10
He wanted to show
electoral
me.
votes.
Yeah, see, because it's
Thank
very
you.
densely
Dense,
populated. What a shithole.
I'll tell you
Wow.
what, though. I mean, I live in Ohio, and we got. It is a big state, but you get out traveling, there's still a lot of open land in this state. You guys.
Yes,
I
you
mean,
do, and that's a good thing.
But you have a lot of cities. You
Yes.
have Akron, you have Columbus, you have fucking Toledo, you got
Cincinnati, Dayton.
Cincinnati,
Dayton, yeah.
Dayton.
Cleveland.
Ohio has 18 electoral votes.
Yes, 18. Yes.
Yeah, that's how you got more than Mass.
Oh, yeah.
It's just a shame about California, though. It's a shame, all them people out there. But
Well, eventually they're going to fall off into the ocean, but
now, wait a minute.
Hopefully.
Can't be soon enough.
right.
Now,
I
that's
hope
what
they annex.
Reagan.
Well, you know
came from
what?
California,
You know
right?
what we could do? We could run that wall straight up in front of California, Oregon,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Washington.
Shut it right off.
Oh, yeah.
We got to clear the good people out there, though, first, though, because there is some good
Well,
people in
we'll
California.
leave a door
You
open.
can't give up your whole fucking Western Seaboard.
We'll leave a door open for the people that want to leave. That don't want to be idiots.
No, you can't give up your whole
Then they'll
Western
just infiltrate
Seaboard.
and make us all idiots.
Then we'd be a one-coast nation.
It's the
That's
cities. It's the cities, Jimmy and Paul, and it's these big
Well,
cities.
if they know if Mexico's going to take over California, we'll take over Mexico. There's our Western Seaboard.
There you go. That's a solution.
Let them have
What we should
California.
do- What we should do is adopt Mexico's fucking policy on fucking illegal immigration. Say we're going to play by your rules.
Right, we execute them.
No. Well, if that's what Mexico does, then that's what we'll do.
Well, I mean, if you look at Mexico's southern border, they have a nice, big, pretty wall.
Yes,
Oh,
they
yeah,
do.
with guard towers and everything.
The only thing that gets through is as long as they know they're going to keep on going through straight to America. That's the only reason they get through.
Well, I mean, they don't want our
They
guns,
won't let
though,
them
right?
stay in Mexico.
They don't want our guns down there, though, right? So what's
No,
the
you can't.
problem?
You can't even get caught with a bullet in Mexico.
No.
So why don't they try to help our president and, like you said, pay for that daggone wall?
Mexico has a fucking national ID, voter ID.
All right, see, you got to show your ID to vote.
In Mexico, you have to.
Why they're not doing that in the U.S. is beyond me.
Mexico's had a hard-on to take us over ever since the fucking war we had with
the Alamo.
Well, yeah, that when we took Texas and all that.
The Texas-Mexican War.
Wait a minute, didn't Teddy Roosevelt fight the Mexicans too, or something like this?
No,
the Spanish-American War.
Yeah, that was Puerto Rico.
San
Juan Hill. No, it was Puerto Rico.
Well, we went in the Philippines too.
For the Puerto Rican War?
No, Spanish-American War.
Oh, all right. Well, the Spanish are everywhere.
Well, the Spanish have a huge population in the Philippines.
Well, I love history, but yeah, where's that war fought at that Teddy Roosevelt fought in, the Spanish-American War?
San Juan Hill, Cuba.
No, that was
San Juan Hill was in Cuba.
Puerto Rico.
Dave, you got any idea?
San Juan's in Puerto Rico.
Oh, it is.
It was Spanish-American War, and it formed a ring around Santiago, Cuba.
Oh,
see?
Who said it, Paul?
San Juan Hill was in Cuba. Yeah.
I didn't know that, you guys.
He was part of the Rough Riders.
The Rough Riders. I was just
Puerto Ricans
ain't
Spanish.
Now, what was one of his big sayings? What was it? Carry a big
Walk
stick?
softly and carry. Speak softly and carry a big stick.
That was the other Roosevelt.
Theodore.
That was Teddy.
That was
Teddy Roosevelt.
No, it was Teddy.
Is it Teddy?
Yeah, you know that
Walk softly and carry a big stick.
That was Franklin Delano.
No, it wasn't.
Yes,
Franklin
he was the one that said, "We have nothing to fear but fear itself."
Okay, that's right.
We have nothing to fear but fear itself.
Sounds like Les.
Didn't Franklin?
Let me do this, Les.
Didn't Franklin Roosevelt? And he's the one that says, "This day will live in infamy."
Yeah, that was
I'll let people talk.
December 8th, 1941 was when he actually gave that speech.
After they bombed Pearl Harbor.
Yeah, the next day.
Yep.
Yeah.
They were related, though, Paul.
And that's
Roosevelts.
Right, they were cousins.
And Roosevelt was actually, Franklin was married to his cousin, too. Eleanor was
Eleanor.
before
Both
she married.
Roosevelts.
Jeez. Government and incest. Who would have guessed?
I don't
Are
like
you
talking
sure
about
they're
people's
not from
looks.
Kentucky?
I don't like talking about people's looks, but Eleanor Roosevelt, she sure wasn't a good-looking woman.
Oh, boy, she was an ugly woman.
Who wanted a guy that had, what was that? Polio. Who wanted to go out with the guy with polio?
Well, he didn't have polio when they met.
How do you know?
He got that later in life.
Yeah, I watched the movie. Yeah,
he did. He got it later in life.
Yeah. Yes, when he was out swimming somewhere and he got off, and he got sick. Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
but they tried to hide it.
That's for sure.
Been to his house in New York, Hyde Park.
So you wouldn't have Eleanor Roosevelt over your house, huh, Jimmy?
No, I've had worse than Eleanor Roosevelt.
That's for sure. I'd fuck her. Oh!
Wait a minute, we're starting to talk like tomorrow night.
Poor Eleanor. She was a fucking ugly woman. God damn.
They say she did a lot for the country. I don't know. You know, the guy did get us through World War II, him and Truman, though. I mean, I think he did pretty good.
Do you know what? I didn't like FDR because he thought of himself as a king.
Well, you thought he was a king, huh?
Yep.
Roosevelt developed polio. The first signs was in 1921.
What about Truman? You like Truman?
I like Truman. He was a Democrat, but do you know what? He had
a lot of balls.
Yeah.
He dropped the bomb.
Why does that sound like a porn name? Harry F. Truman.
Yeah.
What was the deal with Ike? Huh? Dwight D. Eisenhower. Where did he get
Eisenhower he wasn't a great tactical general. He was a logistic general. He was good at organizing things. He didn't know warfare.
He had good generals under him, though. He had great generals under him.
Yeah. Bradley, Patton. I would say MacArthur, but I could never stand MacArthur. I thought he had no concern about the men that served under him.
Well,
Zero.
Wasn't it you that said he left the Philippines and left those guys there, and he came back after they I don't know.
I shall return when it's safe.
The Bataan March there?
The Bataan Death March.
Yeah.
He got the hell out of there.
And everyone's like, oh, he was there with his family. What was he supposed to do? You put your family on the PT boat. They leave. You stay with your troops.
What is the family doing on a boat?
No, because he was living in the Philippines.
We should have never surrendered.
And his family was living with them. And when the Japanese invaded, him and his family got on a PT boat and split and left all the troops behind to die.
Isn't that nice?
Paul, we should have never surrendered. We had over 60,000 men on that island there. We should have never surrendered, and we should have sent in reinforcements. They should have never had that battalion.
We didn't have the capability at the time. We had been so gutted after World War I. Our Navy just emptied it. It really was. It was a shadow.
Well, Pearl Harbor didn't help them neither.
We got about a minute and a half here, folks.
We had 4 aircraft carriers. That's what we had, 4.
We were vulnerable at that time. Pearl Harbor.
Like they said, they woke up a sleeping giant.
Yeah, once the military-industrial complex...
Once Japan bombed, that was it.
Once we converted car plants to building tanks and shipyards started producing, all the Liberty ships that were going to bring the supplies.
I remember that.
That's when the war ended.
One question, real quick.
Officially died.
One question for you, Paul and Timmy. Why did the Japanese not bomb not invade the mainland United States?
Because everybody owns guns.
Yep.
Thank you.
There's a gun behind every blade of grass.
Exactly. Yamamoto was educated in the United States, went to Harvard.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
Well, we always get, like I said, these people from Iran were doing the nuclear. We trained them here in Boston.
Actually, Yamamoto was a fan of the United States. Here's a quick thing. Hitler's personal railroad car was named America.
Wow.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah, he had a big affinity for the United States because of what we did to the Native Americans.
Give Hitler credit for the Autobahn now. Give him credit for that.
You do know the Japanese actually dropped bombs in Oregon, right?
Yeah, the balloon bombs.
Yep, the incendiary bombs, if I can pronounce it right.
Yeah, but our houses weren't made out of paper.
No, but they were. But the woods. The only problem is they would have done a lot of damage, but they launched the bombs at the wrong time of year.
We got to get out of here. It's got to end of the show here. We got to stop.
Oh, okay.
Goodbye, everybody.
Say goodbye.
Bye.
See you guys.
See you tomorrow night on All In. If not, next week on Butt Talk. Can you hold on for a second?
I was young, I was foolish, I was angry, I was fun, I was charming, I was lucky. Tell me how